what's up guys? So it's 41 degrees Celsius here on Bowen Island on the Pacific Northwest, British Columbia, Canada. We're in the middle of a heat wave that we've had since Friday. It is now Monday. It's expected to last another day or two. We've had temperatures inland up to 46 degrees Celsius, which is a new record for Canada for the highest temperature ever recorded. Here on Bowen Island, we've gone up to 41 today, which is 2 degrees higher than yesterday. And yesterday it was 2 degrees higher than the day before that. So who knows what tomorrow will bring. Anyways, wanted to show you just some plants that are doing okay in the heat, some that are actually thriving in the heat, others that are suffering. So this front bank here, we have mostly drought tolerant plants. So these are okay in the heat. We've got some lavenders, some heathers, some yuccas, some grasses, some euphorbia, and then native foxgloves and daisies. We've got yuccas here, agaves. There's a Camerops cerifera, Trachycarpus fortunei, and some phormium. It's a needle palm. All these plants are doing okay in the heat. I would say the agaves are actually thriving in this heat. The yuccas are doing okay. This yucca rostrata doesn't mind the heat one bit. Another yucca rostrata down there. Again, it's actually growing. It looks like it's grown since last week about an inch or so. So again, it's just fine with the heat. If we go across the driveway here, so these are some more euphorbias. Again, they're okay with the heat. Got a bottle brush tucked in here, a little one I planted earlier in the year. It's still tiny, but again, that will be just fine in the heat. Camerops humilis, doing okay. So these are some, I didn't plant these flowering plants. In fact, they're probably weeds, but as you can see, all their leaves are folded up, so they're not really liking this temperature much. Lavender looks okay. Again, some of the leaves are folded up. This is a type of euphorbia. Camerops cerifera. This is a rostrata, and again, it looks like it's quite happy in the heat. In fact, it's shooting some new growth there, as you can see from a distance. So it's actually liking it. Another agave there, doesn't mind the heat one bit. It's a cordyline, probably not liking it too much. It's blooming at the moment, or just finished blooming. Some more yuccas, a phormium, and a magnolia, evergreen magnolia, Cape Paris. And looks like the leaves are doing all right, but it is getting baked in the sun all day. The other side of the driveway, we got a more shady area. I got some bamboo planted here. I'm watering that bamboo daily. It's a type of rhodo that's only gets morning sun, so it's faring okay. Japanese forest grass. These are all shade-loving plants. Over here, some pine, some ferns, some grasses. Another bamboo, Fregesia robusta, doing all right. Another rhodo. So again, these are in the shade in the afternoon sun, so they're faring okay. Over here we got a Livingstona chinensis. They prefer shade. This one gets afternoon, like a late afternoon sun, so it's probably not liking it much right now, but so far it doesn't look like the fronds are burnt, so I'm gonna just leave it be. Again, I water these plants in the morning and sometimes in the evening. Going into the yard here. This is a big dogwood. Again, doing all right. some grapes, which are actually loving this heat. And I got little baby grapes on there. Little baby grapes in there. They don't mind this temperatures at all. Got my avocados in here, so they're protected from afternoon sun, so they look okay. This is a lemon guava, and it thrives on this kind of heat. It's got some flowers happening right now. Lots of flower buds everywhere on it. Some more down there. Lemon guava. I have a variegated brugmansia here. I have several type of brugmansias, and generally speaking, they don't mind the heat, but they do love the water. So if you don't give them enough water, they fold up and they're unhappy. Another grape right there. This is a fig. Figs tend to be okay in this heat. Sometimes they'll fold up the leaves just to conserve moisture like you're seeing here. But they don't mind getting a little warmer. So over here I planted some giant bamboo vivax, Borealis, I believe. Can't quite remember the name of this one, but it's the gold form of vivax, and it's actually shooting up some new culms. There's one there, another one right there, one there, and one that started a week ago, and it's already up to there, about 25 feet high. And the bamboo I water again twice a day. So far it looks all right. This pineapple guava or fajoja looks okay in the heat. I would almost say it's liking the heat. As for this apple, not so much. As you can see, the leaves are all crispy. Got apples on it, but not happy. It's our greenhouse. I have both doors open, all the windows open, and the temperature in the greenhouse at the moment is 49.9 Celsius. And I have a bougainvillea in here. As long as I give it water, it doesn't mind this heat at all. And then some succulents. Again, they don't mind. Black bamboo. This is our tomato trellis. So these are all tomatoes growing up. We have the ropes there just so we can attach them as they grow so they don't get weighed down by the tomatoes. Tomatoes are looking good. Another grape right there. So this is the arbutus. This is not a native species. This is Arbutus marina. As you can see, the leaves are kind of folded up because of the heat. And there is a bit of damage on there as well. You can see here a bit of damage. And then under this big umbrella, I have a loquat, which suffered some heat damage. So I decided to take some action and protect it today. So you can see here's the loquat, and it's got some browning of the leaves, and the leaves are crispy on some parts, so I decided just to protect it. Basically, the bigger the leaves on the plants, the more damage they're going to take in extreme heat and sun. These are just vegetable beds. Vegetables seem to be doing all right. Again, we're watering them several times a day. Eucalyptus thriving in this heat. Although the leaves are, as you can see, pointing down to conserve moisture. But eucalyptus are known to grow in very hot climates, so they know how to deal with water loss and getting water from the ground when needed. These are olives. Olives are looking okay. They're in 15-gallon pots. And again, we water them once a day in this kind of temperatures. Go around here to the citrus. These are all apple trees and pots, and they're doing all right. We water them every morning. So here's a citrus. Citrus pretty much loving the temperatures. Most of them are blooming. In the late afternoon, it gets shady back here. This is mostly south-facing. Another mandarin. This is a peach. A nectarine. They love the heat. Finger lime, also loving heat. Let's see, Meyer lemon, bloomin', bergamot, and the Persian lime. So those are all okay. These anemone bushes, or smoke bushes, some people call them, are doing fine. Our cherry tree is doing all right, although it's got tons of cherries up there that I still have to pick. To try and scare away the crows this year, we put up these pie plates. So they seem to be working so far. We haven't had any crows in the tree. We picked about a third of this tree and there's still more to go. We got 20 pounds so far. So this cherry tree is really happy this year. And the heat's only making the cherries ripen quicker and they're gonna be sweeter. You can see how the cherry's up in there. Roses, loving it. Garlic, couldn't care less as long as we water it. I had to protect my big leaf magnolia, so I put a tarp up against the shed we got here because it was starting to get burnt leaves. So it's got really big leaves. So again, I didn't want to get them any more burnt than they are. They had a bit of burning, as you can see. That was from yesterday, and we're still gonna have a couple more days of hot weather. Bananas don't seem to mind it. Sometimes they'll fold up their leaves to conserve moisture, but rarely do I see any burning on bananas. These are pawpaw trees. Pawpaws, when they're of a bigger size, they can handle the sun okay. And so far they look like they've handled the heat okay. Back there we have a kiwi vine. The kiwis are just fine. I don't see any stress on the leaves or anything like that. And they haven't really bloomed much this year, so the blooms aren't really getting burnt or anything like that. This is kind of the shade area, so it's doing okay. It's just got rhodos, forest grasses, maples. Got a big leaf rhodo here. This one's mostly in shade, so it's not too much damage to it. What else we got here to show you? This is again mostly shade, so we got hostas. We got a schlafera there that's doing all right. Some more Japanese maples. It's a maple as well. Those are all doing all right. This is the berry patch. So we got strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and they're all doing okay right now. And they do get partial shade from these bigger fruit trees around here, which helps in the blazing afternoon sun. Up here I have mostly ornamentals, so I have dogwoods, maples, rhodos, bamboo, magnolia, acacia or pseudo-acacia tree. So here we had a bit of damage. The rhodo here, as you can tell, it's getting sun damage. Here on the deck, I got some aloes and some agaves. And they're doing just fine. Actually loving this heat. Banana, as you can see, is a Chinese lotus banana. The leaves are folded in half. So that's its mechanism to conserve moisture. More agaves here. Mangave here, again loving it. Ponytail palm, no problem. These things are meant for heat. Aeonium, as you can see, it's folding up again to conserve moisture, and they kind of go dormant in the summer anyway, so that's what it's doing. Cannas, I keep them well watered, but they're doing all right. Even starting to bloom. Snake plant, brought that from outside, so it's kind of in the shade because it needs to get used to the sun. Another canna doing well. Bougainvillea, loving it. No problem. So this Brahea armata, I've had outside for a while now, but as you can see, it's a little bit sun scorched on the older fronds. The new fronds are looking all right. This cycad, this damage you're seeing on the fronds is from last year, from sun scorch, not from this year. But this heat has inspired it to send out a new flush of leaves, as you can see. So it's clearly happy. This is my larger Brugmansia. As you can see, it's in full flush of flowers, but all leaves are bent over. It's getting full brunt of the heat with being on the deck in full sun. As long as you keep them well watered, they do okay in this heat. This is a hybrid palm of a Chilean wine palm and a Bouteillete. It's doing all right. These are some Washingtonia robustas planted together in a threesome. I thought it would look kind of cool. They're doing all right. There's a larger one in the back in a pot. It's a Cavendish banana doing okay. And a mimosa, chocolate mimosa tree, also doing okay. And chocolate mimosas, when they get too hot, they will actually fold up their leaves and try and conserve moisture that way. So this thing is sort of doing it now, but when they really close up, you don't even really see any leaves. They're just like little strings hanging down. This is Trachycarpus wagnerianus, doing okay. Banana, Cavendish bananas in the back, also doing okay. You can see they're folded up their leaves too in the heat, trying to conserve moisture. This is kind of a more shady area, so we have a camellia there. This is a magnolia, some hostas, Japanese forest grasses. This is a red obsidian banana, loving the heat, loving the sun. We got a rhodo and some gingers coming up there. And this is the Schlifera, doing okay. And a large Trachycarpus, okay, no problems with that. Some spotty dotties down there that, as long as you give them enough moisture, they're happy and they're in the shade as well. And then this is our veggie patch. So we've planted some corn, some beans, some squash in here, some kale. And this is all loving the heat, no problems. We water it in the morning. And then our Musabashu, or hardy Japanese fiber banana. So they're doing okay. Last but not least, my daughter, loving the heat. As long as she has a sprinkler on the trampoline, which we're gonna set up briefly. Anyways, that's it for now. I really hope where you live doesn't get this hot, because it's really uncomfortable. And the plants, they can take a day or two of this, no problems, but a week of this is brutal. Look at this Chilean wine palm. It's got some damage on it as well. Ah, man. Oh well. Let's hope this is not a yearly thing. That's it for now. Have a good day.